Hey traders, we have the Bank of Japan's rate decision coming up on Friday where the markets are widely expecting the bank to hike rates. The main reason for this is in the past week, the Bank of Japan has basically let the markets know through various sources that they do intend to hike rates, basically citing higher than expected wage growth as the main reason to do so. Now, coming into the week, there were initially some concerns that potential equity weakness, potentially driven by new US tariffs, could potentially derail the bank's plans, but the US 500 has just been ripping to the upside due to no day one tariffs as the markets feared, and the sentiment risk for that has basically been cleared off the table by now. Furthermore, if we just take a look at this recent drop that we've seen in the dollar yen from the past week, we can see that the yen has strengthened over the past week in anticipation of this potential hike by the bank. And if we take a quick look here at short-term interest rate futures, we can see that the markets have already priced in about an 88% chance of a 25 basis point hike from the bank. However, the size of the hike going into Friday is a potential risk for the Japanese yen. You see, unlike other major central banks, the BOJ has basically delivered smaller moves in this rate hike cycle, with the first one coming in at 20 basis points and the second one coming in at only 15 basis points. So that does raise the possibility that the bank follows through with a potentially smaller than expected hike than what the markets are currently pricing in, which of course is a 25 basis point move. Now, here is a potential game plan for what market participants will be looking at going into the meeting. Since a 25 basis point hike is basically close to priced in, dollar yen bears would really need to see a 25 basis point hike, as well as a very clear message that more hikes will be coming this year to potentially see further downside pressure in the dollar yen and the Nikkei 225. A second possible outcome to look for is a 15 or even smaller basis point hike coming out from the bank, as well as an overall dovish message. And because of the markets already pricing in very close to a 25 basis point hike, if we do get something smaller than that, that could see immediate upside risk for the dollar yen as well as the Nikkei 225. And thirdly, the absolute biggest surprise would be a surprise hold by the Bank of Japan. This could see a very serious rally in the likes of the dollar yen as well as the Nikkei 225. Now, key levels to watch for the dollar yen going into that event is near-term support and resistance pivots sitting between that 156 and 156 level, as well as the implied volatility options barrier resistance for the week sitting at 158.50, while support comes in at 154. Now, going into the decision, please keep in mind that this bank really loves to toy with the markets in terms of their statements. So as always, stay nimble and trade safe.